Hey guys, today we're going to talk about string gauges, why it's important, what you should be looking for based on what you're trying to achieve musically, how you want your guitar to be as far as playability. So starting right here with acoustic guitars, this gauge, as you can see, is in this discussion, the brand's going to be a little bit less important than what we're talking about as far as the gauge. 12 through 53 is the standard gauge you'll find on a guitar that you buy from a music store. Most of the instruments that come out of the factory are going to be strung with 12 through 53 on acoustic. There's also the choice of picking between bronze and phosphor bronze. To my ear, there's a marginal difference in sound, not a ton. For your ear, it might be different. I recommend trying them. You know, get a pack of bronze, get a pack of phosphor bronze, and put them through the ear test. This gauge is, typically I've had students over the years that just arbitrarily decide to switch gauges on their guitar, and that might not work. Because obviously if you go up to 13s, there's going to be more tension on the neck, and that could alter the neck slope significantly depending on the guitar and the density of wood with the neck that you're dealing with. So I've had people put, hey, I just decided to put 13s on my guitar and now I can't play it. It plays like garbage. And I'm like, well, you know, some guitars you can get away with switching a gauge out and not see a big difference. But other guitars are really going to react negatively to having a gauge set on, a gauge switched on them when the truss rod's not set to that. So you want to keep that in mind. 13s are going to make your guitar maybe louder, maybe a little bit more tone, but keep in mind it's going to be a little bit more difficult to fret those notes on the acoustic. And then obviously going down to 11s is going in the other direction, and that's going to make the strings are a little bit more ribbony. I don't prefer that. I think that there's more of a significant change in the playability of 13s. There's a pretty significant change in the playability with 11s in the other direction. So I think 12s is the gauge you're going to want to go with. But if you decide to switch gauges, keep in mind you might need a setup. So phosphor bronze or bronze. Now, this is a string. I think these guys are, where are they at? Center Valley, PA, yeah. I thought this was a Pennsylvania. I think these are widely available. At one point, you couldn't really get them. The John Pierce, I really like these strings a lot. And I always usually pick up a pack or two when I'm running low. These are 12 through 53, and I don't really know what else to say about them. It's a great gauge, just like the Diodarios. And I find that these last a little bit longer, depending on the pH of your skin. I mean, your sweat, strings break down a little bit differently for everybody. So John Pierce, bronze or phosphor bronze, 12 through 53. Great string. And one that I enjoy using. When we get into electrics, we're here at 10 through 46. Now, it's important to point out that most guitars that you buy in the stores will be 9 through 48. No, 9 through 42. So the light gauges are usually put on new electric guitars, 9 through 42. Again, that's a ribbony gauge. I don't really care for that. I think the 10 through 46 is where you want to go with electric guitars. Stratocasters, Les Pauls, SGs, tellies. This is the gauge you're interested in, 10 through 46. The other one, obviously, the Adario, 10 through 46. So again, tomato. Do you like chocolate ice cream or vanilla best? Again, more importantly is the gauge. And remember, if you just went to the music store and bought an electric guitar, it's important to ask them, hey, was this strung with 9s? Because if you go to 10s, you might have issues if the neck is not set and the truss rod is not set for that extra tension. I'd like to get into this gauge that I love a lot, and I'll tell you for what though. These are the skinny top, heavy bottom, Ernie balls. These strings are fantastic for hollow bodies or semi-hollow bodies. Now, another guy might say, oh, you can put them on Les Pauls too. Sure you can. I'm not disputing that. I'm just telling you from my personal taste, in playability and sound, if you have a semi-hollow body or a hollow body guitar, this is the gauge you want, 10 through 52. As you can see, it's almost at the bottom the same gauge as acoustic guitar. As we had the acoustic guitar set out, you can see you have 53 at the bottom. This, on an electric guitar, is 52. So you almost have the bottom of a gauge of acoustic while still maintaining your lighter gauge at the top. So perfect for semi-hollow or hollow body guitars. And lastly, Savarez. These are, I think they're French. What the hell? I don't know. Where does it say? El Casteraclavelas Nanara La Date Factura et Set Code. Made in France. I have to work on my French, sorry. Made in France, Savarez strings. These are a little pricey, like $14 or $15 a set, but they'll last you forever. You don't have to swap out acoustic, classical guitar strings as often as you have to swap out steel string. So you'll get a little bit more time out of these. This is the soft tension. And the hard tension is the yellow card. I recommend the yellow card. This is okay. I know I should have example. I have them back there somewhere. The only difference between the high tension and this tension is there'll be a yellow card here. And those are the high tensions. Those are the ones you want. I really like the feel of those and the sound of those, but I use these too, and they're okay. But Savarez for nylon string guitars, this is where you want to go for that, And you string up your classical guitar with this, your nylon string guitar with this, you'll be very happy, and you'll get a lot of life out of them. I mean, I only change nylon strings guitar, my classical guitar. I have an Alvarez Yari. I only swap the strings out about every 6 or 7 months. So, you get, better than 6 months, 7 months out of these. If you keep them clean, wipe them down after use, you could even stretch that out closer to a year. So there it is, guys. Kind of a string breakdown. I hope you learned a little bit about tensions, how important they are. And if you're having issues playing your guitar, switching tensions could make a lot of difference. If your playing is flimsy and you don't like that ribbony feel, you can move up, and conversely, you can move down if you're having fretting issues. So www.theguitar-shop.com. Email theguitarshopstudios@gmail.com.